Hola chicos. Today's lesson is going to be on saber and conocer. Please make sure that you are filling in your notes as we talk about our lesson. Alright, so let's get started. Saber significa to know. Well, conocer significa to know also. So it's kind of like the whole thing with ser and estar when you have to understand when you use one, when you use the other. Alright, so let's get started with saber. Okay, so saber is to know. Well, which to know? It's going to be to know facts, facts or information, to know how to do something. And when it comes to taste, then it's going to be to talk about the taste of something. So we'll do a couple of examples in the next page, but just to make sure, like let's say to know facts. Let's say la fecha. La fecha is date. So if I want to say I know the date, then it would be yo sé la fecha, because that's knowing a fact, okay? If I want to talk about knowing how to do something, let's say I want to say he knows how to dance. So to dance is bailar, right? So él sabe, and then the verb that follows, you keep infinitive. The activity that follows, keep it infinitive. So él sabe bailar. Okay, and then to talk about the taste of something, let's say, for example, I want to say the lemonade taste sweet. So, la limonada sabe, because la limonada is a singular noun, so la limonada sabe dulce, por ejemplo. Okay, now let's look at the different forms of saber. For our lesson, guys, we're going to focus on the present tense, but we are going to go ahead and talk about what it looks like on the preterite because it is an irregular verb. Okay, so let's start present tense. All right, so sé, sabes, sabe, sabemos, sabéis, saben. Okay, if we look at the forms of it, the thing to remember is that the form for yo is irregular. So it's yo sé, I know. The rest of the conjugations are your normal present tense ER endings. And in the past tense, saber would mean knew. Okay, this is a total irregular verb. So it's supe, supiste, supo, supimos, supisteis, supieron. Okay, now let's look at conocer. Okay, so conocer, una vez más, that's to know, but this is going to be specifically to know a person or place. Now, when we use it to know a person, then it's going to be followed with a little a. That a in Espanol, we call it la a personal, because when you're talking about like knowing a person or knowing a place, that person or a place is your direct object. And when that direct object is a person in Espanol, perdón, then we use the a personal, the personal a. Okay? So, for example, if I want to say I know Maria, then it's conozco a Maria, because Maria is a person. If I want to say that I know a place, let's say Atlanta, then it's conozco Atlanta. The I is not needed because that's a place. Okay, same thing here. Let's go over the forms in the present tense and then in the past. Real quick, guys. As a general rule, verbs that end in sir or ser, the yo form in present tense is changed to osco. So you change the ser or the sir to osco. Okay, so we'll apply that. The rest of the conjugations of conocer in present tense are your normal ER endings. All right, so repite después de mí. Conozco, conoces, conoce, conocemos, conocéis, conocen. All right, so when I use this in past tense, this kind of takes on the meaning of met, okay? So, but in the past, it is regular, so that's a good thing. So, repite después de mí. Conocí, conociste, conoció, conocimos, conocisteis, conocieron. Okay, on the second page, we are just going to work on this little section right here where it's doing examples, okay? So we'll start with the forms of saber. Tú hablar japonés. So hablar japonés is to speak Japanese, right? So that's knowing how to do something. So tú sabes hablar japonés. Número dos dice Jorge no, well that would be sabe, because that's the form of saber. Jorge no sabe la hora. Well, why is it that? La hora is the time, right? So that's just saying that Jorge does not know the time. That's not knowing a fact. So that we use saber. Okay, and then the last one, hablar un poco de español. That's to speak a little bit of Spanish, right? That's knowing how to do something. So yo sé, that should be the accent over the E, hablar un poco de español. Okay, the forms of conocer. What did we say? We use conocer when that's to know either a place or to know a person, right? So on the first one, la ciudad is city. So that would be knowing a place. So yo no conozco la ciudad muy bien. So I don't know the city very well. Usted y yo conocemos a la maestra. Now this is a person, right? La maestra is the teacher. So that's knowing a person. That's why we use that little a right there after the verb, okay? Because remember, that's la a personal. So you and I know the teacher. And then when it's a question, it's the same concept, right? Okay, but I'm asking, oh, Pilar is the name of a girl. It's actually a pretty common name in the Latin world. So, ¿conoce usted a Pilar? And that question right there, usted is my subject. That's why I'm using conoce. So this is asking, do you know Pilar? Who, again, happens to be a person. All right, chicos. Hope you understand the concept between when we use saber and conocer. And it is a great idea to make sure that you actually know the facts, right? So this is what you must know. Saber, to know facts, to know how to do something, to talk about the taste of something, okay? And then the conjugations of it. And then conocer, to know, specifically to know a person or a place. And when we're talking about knowing a person, we put a little a right after the verb because we use it, that's called the a personal. All right, guys, I hope you understood the concepts and you'll get to practice it. Adios.